Welcome to everyone. So we move on to the last module of electric drives. That is about synchronous motor drives and permanent magnet synchronous motor drives. All of you studied synchronous motor basic principles in your subject synchronous and induction machines. So that is a prerequisite of this course. You should know the basic principle of operation of synchronous motor drives, and I will go through some peripheral idea of synchronous motors and its torque equation characteristics, etc. All of you know that a synchronous motor is constructional wise is same as an alternator. A synchronous motor is constructional wise same as that of an alternator, and it runs at a synchronous speed or remains standstill. So that is why it is not self-starting. The rotor speed and stator speed are near to synchronous speed, so it is not self-starting. Speed can be varied by varying the supply frequency, because synchronous speed is given by 120 F by P. So V by F control that we studied in your induction motors can be applied to the synchronous motor also. You can apply the V by F control. Due to unavailability of economical variable frequency sources in older days, this method of speed control was not used in past. They were mainly used for constant speed applications. But by the development of semiconductor variable frequency sources such as inverter and cycloconverter allowed the use of synchronous motors in variable speed applications also. And it is not self-starting, it has to be run up to near synchronous speed by some means, and it can be synchronized to supply. Hence it is known as synchronous motor. So we need some of the starting method, that usually using an auxiliary motor or using damper winding. So these things might be familiar, and these are the type of the synchronous motors. Commonly used synchronous motors: wound field synchronous motor, cylindrical or salient pole type. Then permanent magnet synchronous motors are there. Synchronous reluctance motor, hysteresis motor. So we need to study the drive using synchronous motors and permanent magnet synchronous motors. So all these motors have a stator with a 3-phase winding which is connected to the AC source. And basic operation of a wound field synchronous motor. So I will give you few points regarding this, and in detail you can refer any machine's textbook. Here in a wound field synchronous motor, rotor is provided with a DC field winding and a damper winding. This is for starting. Stator contains 3-phase winding and is connected to the AC supply. So when a 3-phase supply is given to the stator, a rotating magnetic field revolving at a synchronous speed is produced, and the DC excitation in rotor produces a field. This field interacts with the rotating magnetic field to produce a torque which is pulsating in nature and not unidirectional. Hence the synchronous motor is not self-starting. So normally a motor is made self-starting using damper winding on rotor. Due to the presence of damper winding, motor will start as induction motor. So when speed of the motor reaches to near synchronous speed, that DC excitation is given to the rotor. Now the rotor poles get locked with the rotating magnetic field poles in the stator, and it continues to rotate at synchronous speed. That is the nutshell of the working of synchronous motor. And you might hear about load angle or power angle or torque angle delta. So we already told that rotor poles get locked with rotating magnetic poles in the stator. It is shown here, stator poles and rotor poles. So rotor poles are locked with the stator poles and both runs at a synchronous speed in the same direction. So suppose if there is a change in the load on the motor, that is a load on the motor, as the load on the motor is increases, rotor tends to fall back in phase by some angle. There will be a small phase difference, that angle is known as the load angle. It depends upon the load on the motor. So the value of the delta depends upon load. So for a synchronous motor, its power produced is expressed like Pm is equal to mechanical power, Pm is equal to 3 EV by Xs sin delta. You might know this equation. Pm is equal to 3 EV by Xs sin delta. This delta is the load angle. And what is this V? V is the stator supply voltage and E is the field excitation voltage. So the torque can be written as this mechanical power divided by omega s synchronous speed, that is 3 EV by omega s Xs sin delta. And for a given value of the supply voltage, frequency and field excitation, the torque will be maximum when delta is 90. When delta is 90, sin 90 is 1. Hence, torque maximum is 3 EV by omega s Xs. The maximum torque is known as pull-out torque. Remember this word, pull-out torque is the maximum torque delivered by synchronous motor, that is corresponding to delta equal to 90 degree. Any increase in torque beyond this value will cause motor to slow down and synchronism is lost. This phenomenon is known as pulling out of step. Pulling out of step of a synchronous motor. And here I have given a speed torque characteristics of synchronous motor. You can see that this speed is corresponding to the synchronous speed. This region is motoring, positive torque. This is negative torque, is the braking region. And any torque above this one is known as the pull-out torque. The maximum torque is pull-out torque. And any torque beyond this pull-out torque will leads to pulling out of step. So these basic things you should go on through some textbook. And come on to the variable frequency control of synchronous motor. As we discussed in case of induction motor, variable frequency control we discussed in induction motor is the main method of used in the drive or V by F control. The same method you can implement in synchronous motor also. Synchronous speed is proportional to frequency. So by varying the frequency, speed can be controlled. So like in induction motor, up to base speed, V by F ratio is kept constant. For speed above base speed, the terminal voltage is maintained at a rated value and frequency is varied. Hence the maximum torque will be naturally reduced. So in variable frequency control, synchronous motor may operate in two modes. So these things you should never ever forget. There are two modes of operation of variable frequency control of synchronous motor. First mode of operation is known as true synchronous mode, or it is the open loop mode of operation. It is self-controlled mode. The first one is true synchronous mode. Second one is the self-controlled mode. True synchronous mode, the name as it implies, it is an open loop system. That is, when we are implementing a frequency control, the frequency should be adjusted from some external settings or devices, not from the feedback. Hence it is open loop. Self-controlled means the self-controlled mode means that it is a closed loop system. That is, actual frequency settings can be derived from the measurement of rotor position or stator voltage, etc. And from that we are deciding the frequency of controlled value of the frequency. So it is closed loop. Self-controlled mode is corresponding to the closed loop mode. True synchronous mode is corresponding to open loop mode. So let's see true synchronous mode of operation. This is one of the block diagram for a true synchronous mode of operation of a variable frequency control of synchronous motor. Here you can see that F star. This is actually the frequency command to the VSI. It is decided externally. There is no link with this actual speed of the motor. There is no information we are collecting from the synchronous motor. So stator supply frequency is controlled from an independent oscillator. So there is no feedback or from the actual rotor speed. It is supply frequency is controlled from independent oscillator. Hence it is a true synchronous mode, open loop mode. Here frequency from its initial to desired value is changed gradually so that the difference between synchronous speed and rotor speed is always small. So there will be gradual variation of this frequency to make the difference between the synchronous speed and rotor speed is very less. This frequency command F star is applied to a VSI through a delay circuit, so that rotor speed is able to track the changes in the frequency. So this will apply through a delay. Normally it is a sample and hold circuit. So it will store this frequency command so that it can able to track the changes in the frequency. Rotor circuit can be able to track the changes of the frequency. A flux control block is used here. The purpose of this flux control block is exactly same as that of induction motor. That is, we need to maintain this flux as constant. In order to maintain the flux as constant, we should maintain V by F as constant. So this frequency is fixed from this oscillator from externally. So depending upon the value of the frequency, we should vary the voltage in order to maintain the flux. Hence the V star is depending upon the criteria that V by F should be constant. Okay. So a flux control block changes stator voltage with the frequency to maintain constant flux below the base speed and constant terminal voltage above the base speed. So this is a true synchronous mode of operation. There is no feedback, it is open loop mode. So hence any increase in the frequency causes synchronous speed greater than actual speed, and hence torque angle delta increases. To follow this change in frequency, motor accelerates and settles at new speed, and oscillations are damped by damper windings. Suppose a decrease in frequency, that is this frequency is continuously varying. So there is a decrease in frequency causes the synchronous speed also become less than the actual speed. So delta become negative. We need to increase this actual speed to the synchronous speed value. Hence the motor decelerates under regenerative braking. So decrease in frequency causes synchronous speed become less than the actual speed. So here actual speed should be reduced to make it is equal to synchronous speed. So we need a deceleration. Here it is we need a acceleration. Okay. The motor settles down at new speed after hunting the oscillations. The frequency must be changed gradually to allow the rotor to track the changes in revolving field. Otherwise the motor may pull out of step. This method employed only in multiple synchronous motor drives requiring accurate speed tracking between the motor. Example, fiber spinning mills, paper mills, etc. So multiple synchronous motors are used. It is preferable to use a true synchronous mode.